Welcome back, AI champions. This is almost at the end. We are at the end. And in the previous episode, we saw how to send a message to the Discord channel. The next requirement from Nathan is what he wants to do is he wants to schedule this workflow at 9 a.m. every Monday morning and make this a production workflow or active workflow. We're going to see this in this episode, how we're going to do that. And I'm going to wrap up a bunch of other stuff which we already went through, but I'm just going to go through for the sake of the tutorial. And let's do this. So next is scheduling the workflow. I'm going to copy paste this so that we create a new workflow. I'm just keeping everything intact as per the tutorial. Let's go back. I'm going to duplicate this. We're going to 2.7. I can't believe for a simple workflow like this, we have created 7 workflows, but I like to break it down. It's much easier to understand that way. And that's how it was meant to be explained to you guys or myself. Well, that said, we have a new workflow. What we need to do is we need to schedule. I can keep this, you can keep this too. And I'm going to add another trigger for on a schedule. All right. When do you want to do it? I want to do it per day. Trigger at midnight, blah, blah, blah. There are a bunch of options. First, we're going to connect it, right? Now, we're going to use something called as cron, most probably, to schedule it. Let's go over here. I'm going to look at the, actually, there is another way. You don't even have to look at anything. You don't have to copy paste it. Weeks, first trigger on Mondays, 9 a.m. You can do it this way as well. So, but just for this continuity's sake, I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste, delete this. We're just going to reuse this component that's created, which is weeks 1 Monday, right? Weeks. Every week. We are going to do it only on Mondays. We are going to trigger it at 9 a.m. Where is my a.m.? 9 a.m. and add the 0th minute. We don't need this. Save it. Perfect. Now you have added the schedule. However, it is not going to trigger this workflow every Monday at 9 a.m. because this is an inactive workflow. In order to productionalize this or push this into production or migrate this into production, there is no migration over here. It's just activating the workflow. It's as simple as clicking active. Your schedule trigger will now trigger executions on the schedule you have defined, and that's it. So we can choose what to save, what kind of executions to save. By default, it's the test executions that we are running manually and the production executions that happen automatically. Got it? Now this workflow is in production. Right now there are no executions whatsoever. However, once it starts to run, we will see executions over here, and we have seen that in the previous ones. So I'm not going to go over that one more time. One last time, the settings, execution order, just keep it over here. We don't want to go with the legacy one. Error workflow, we have not created anything. However, I'm like, just if I want to show you, I don't have anything over here because this is a new account. And this is the workflow. This is the time zone. This is very important. If you want to trigger it at 9 a.m. in EST, like in New York time, I have to choose New York. If I choose something else, and it's going to execute at 9 a.m. at their time. So don't do that mistake. Sometimes it happens because if you're using n8n Cloud, they are in Germany, and German time is a little different than wherever you're living. So as long as you're living in Germany, then it's fine. Right now, we are saving the failed production execution. So if something fails in production, it will save that. Same thing with manual executions. All manual executions are saved. And execution progress, we are not saving that. I don't know if we need that, but whatever it is, we are good. And we are not going to keep a timeout on the workflow. All right, and if for some reason the workflow is running for a very long time and you want to time out, let's say like after 20 minutes, this workflow will run in like seconds, but if it takes like more than 5 minutes, you have to time it out, and then it will call the error workflow. You can do that. We are not doing that right now, not a part of the certification, so you do not need that. With that said, let's go back and check what else is remaining. Remove the manual trigger, so we can go back and delete this if you want. I'm gonna keep it, it's easier. Cool. With that said, connect the schedule trigger. We have done that, and our Nathan is very, very happy. He's like, that's it. What's next? Next is like, you go practice this and then create more workflows. Nathan, this is simple. You can do it yourself. If not, come back to Sandy. He'll teach you. All right, activating. We already activated. I'm going to wrap up this workflow as well in here. We went through the I showed you how to activate it, where to see the workflow executions. I even showed you how to restore a previous version. All right, after that, workflow settings, we went through each and every setting. Time zone, I explained to you why we need that, and that's where we say build more workflows. The last part is exporting and importing the workflows. Let's do that so that we can wrap this episode. There are a bunch of options over here that we saw. If duplicating is, we have been duplicating our workflows all the time. Download is, if you see now the workflow is downloaded. If I go back, if I create a new workflow, I can do import from a file. And this will be import. Voila, we got the same workflow. Save it as a dupe or whatever you want to save. That's one way of saving it. You can rename it dupe 2. That's a duplicate second workflow. Change owner, we don't have a lot of users, but we can select it. If we want it, we can select. Right now we don't have more users, we are not going to do that. We just did the import from file. Similarly, you can do import from URL. And pushing to the Git is not a part of this. Once you connect the Git, you can do that. Settings we already went through, and archive is something we do not want this workflow, so we archive it, and now we don't see it over here because that workflow is now archived. It's gone. There is no delete in this for some reason. I don't know why. There should be a delete. So n8n, if you're looking, we need delete in here. And after that, cool. All right, so I guess with that said, we are at the end. These are the full set CLI commands. There are a bunch of CLI commands, so yeah, we are not going to go through it. You do not need it for the examination. Next is the exam. Test your knowledge. Once you are ready, once you've done all the practical, you should be well equipped to start giving this exam. But we are going to take it together, and I'm going to show you how to get that badge. All right.